Hi guys, this is VengeanceTech, and today we're going to do a tutorial on this automated melon farm that I've designed. What it actually uses inside is a bud switch, and what the bud switch does is it detects the melons and it harvests them. All automatic, and all the melons are picked up with the mine cart with a hopper, and basically everything gets deposited in this chest. And this is a single. This is a one-sided. And there it goes, harvest melons right now. And if you see, it's 100% efficient because no melons remain. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take out all the melons out of this chest. And over here is a double. And I'm going to take out all the melons out of this chest. That way, you can actually see how many melons this produces while we're doing the build of our our fourth one. What I did is I pretty much did a little mock-up. What I did is I set up the outline of the melon farm, and basically what it is 5 blocks on a side here. It comes in to here, and basically keeps repeating all the way around. And it has a little extension, a 2 block extension on this side, and then it has a staircase going down here. This is where our signal is actually going to go for our redstone. And it has a cross dug out here. And then down here, actually I'll kind of light this up here. Is basically a dugout 9x9 room with this block in the middle, showing where the middle is, centered on the cross above. And give you kind of a quick look at from the top. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then including this one 1, 2, 3, and then basically it repeats all the way around. And what I do is I usually put my water right here, and I run torches all the way around so that I have light. But anyway, we'll get started on this build here. Okay, first thing you're going to need to do is centered around this center block. What you're going to want to do is put 4 blocks like that, and on top of those 4 blocks you're going to put a redstone torch. This actually activates our pistons up above, and that's what is actually going to harvest the melons. And on top of the torches, take a quick little access hole. What you're going to want to do is put 4 sticky pistons. They basically come up like that. And on top of the 4 sticky pistons, I'm going to put 4 dirt blocks. And right in the middle here, what we're going to do is we're going to put a block right here. So basically, from the underside, it looks like this. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to actually run a signal to these. And in order to do that, you're going to need 3 repeaters, just like that, and some redstone. What the repeaters do is it gives me a little bit more signal from my bud switch, so that I can actually reach all these pistons. And what we do is we run redstone to each one of these, like so, and then up the staircase. this open. And this basically supplies power to our pistons. Basically everything has something. We'll grab another redstone torch here. And that drops all our pistons down. Head back inside here. Okay. And then the next thing I do is I'll grab some dirt. And basically at the torch level, you know, where the redstone torches is, what I want to do is build a platform going all the way around. Like so. This is where our minecart with our hopper is going to actually run. And what that's going to do is it's going to actually suck all our melons through the ceiling down into, you know, the hopper with the minecart. And when we get it this far, we'll actually run some track on here. Like so. Basically, I run it all the way around. So pretty much looks like this. And then what I do, grab some more dirt here, is I'll actually run another row of dirt around. For a second row of track, so that it can pretty much make 2 passes with the minecart. And we'll fill this in with track. Like so. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to create a path for the minecart to actually follow, which is going to be right here. Okay. And what we need to do is we actually need to make a few changes here. This is where the changes actually happen. What we want is to get this minecart to head off into that direction. So what I do is I break the rail here, and I add a couple pieces of track. That way my rail car is headed that direction. And what I want to do here is I want to actually break this path here. And we'll break this one also. And that one. And basically what I want to do is I want to get it so that it, oh, I gotta break this one also. Basically it follows this path. That way it collects all the melons in this area. And what I want to do is put a single track here. What this will do is the minecart will come down, it'll follow this path all the way around, and it'll come here, and then it'll go this direction. It'll go around the pistons one more time, and then it'll jump the track here. It'll actually jump this track, and then it'll come back this way. And then it basically returns all the way up. Now, we have to actually power some of the rails to get it to, have enough oomph to, well, basically follow the path. So what I do is on this side here, so I'll remove these 3 rails, and I'll power these. And what I'll do is I'll actually power them from the wall. I'll put a redstone torch there, and that'll power those 3. Then I do the same thing on this side. I break these 3, and I power these, like so. Putting another redstone torch up on the wall. Actually, we'll kind of center that. And that's pretty much it for the underside. This is what's going to harvest the melons. Alright, so now we can go up. We don't have to go down there anymore. So we'll block off our access tunnel. And right here, we'll pull we'll bring our track up. And what we want is basically a chest, and we want to get 2 hoppers here. The hoppers will pull out, the items out of the minecart with a hopper, deposit them in the chest. What you want is, well, 2 hoppers, and you want to put a block on this one. You have to hold shift in order to get the block on there. And we'll kind of build this out just a little bit, and we'll get power to it. And what we want here is just a single powered rail on top, and we'll grab some more rail. And a single rail there. And what that does is our minecart with a hopper will basically get a little power from here, head on down. Okay, now that we're back up on the top here, what we're going to want to do is basically we're going to build our bud switch. In order to build our bud switch, what we need is a sticky piston right there. And what we're going to want to do is build a cross on top like this. Oops, not like that, like this. What this does is this is our beginning of our bud switch. And in order for our bud switch to actually work, you have to get a bit, well, power. And to do that, we're going to put a repeater there. What that's going to do is it's going to power this block. We're going to put 2 redstone dust here and here. And then what we're going to do is on top of this repeater, we're going to actually put another block, like so. We don't need that one. And we're going to come across like so. We're going to get it right to this point. And what we want to do here is we're going to put a redstone torch. What this is going to do is it's going to basically power our bud switch loop, so that anytime an item gets placed against this piston, it's going to push up on that. And what we need to do on top here is we need to power coming through here, and through the repeater, powering that block, powering that dust, powering, this and this. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave a gap in the middle. This basically sets our timing for our harvest. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have that on the 3rd tick. Alright? So anytime a block's placed here, it's going to activate our bud switch. Or here. Here. Or here. So that gives us 4 places for our melons to actually grow. And in order to power our harvester part of it, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this redstone track down to this torch so that it can power the pistons below. What happens is that every time a melon grows, it gets busted. around the bud switch. Now right now we can actually hoe up our ground. Or hoe our ground, I should say. And we can plant our melons. Now, you don't have to actually hoe every area here, but you can leave the ones that are not, you know, you can leave this one and this one, the four that where the melons are gonna grow, you can actually leave. And we'll grab some melon seeds. Plant our melons. Now, when you plant your melons, you're going to want a diamond shape like this. Basically, you're going to put a diagonal. And you're going to put a diagonal here. And a diagonal here. And our last one. So what you get is 8 plants that can actually grow melons and drop a melon where the bud switch actually is. And there's kind of a trick to this. If you don't want your melons to grow in these spots, you can just put a torch there. That'll actually prevent the melons from growing there. Basically forcing them to grow in and around that bud switch. So we'll put our torches in. Like so. Okay, and then basically we can grab some bone meal. And we'll grow our melons up into full mature plants. Like so. Alright. Now we're pretty much done with the melon farm. What we want to do is we want to get a signal over to that. The easiest way to do that is to basically come off this area, like so. And we'll run this signal right here, which is activated by our bud switch, over to here, which actually is going to power our hopper with a minecart, just enough to get it off of this ledge and down to, well, where it can actually harvest the melons underneath. I'm going to put a cart there real quick. And that's basically it. Everything else at this point is pretty much decoration. So I'm going to decorate it real quick. What I usually do is 2 layers of glass. Like so. There it goes, harvesting its first melons. stone bricks on top. Like so. Now, when you get to this point, you're not going to want to put a stone brick block right here. You're going to want to actually put a glass one, because the glass one will actually allow the redstone signal to basically pass through this corner and continue. The rest of this can be all stone. The reason why I actually designed and built this is because on a multiplayer server, what was happening is that somebody would come and harvest all of my melons, and well, I'd come back from adventuring or whatever, and wouldn't have any melons there, and the poor guy would be like starving to death because I don't seem to really carry enough food ever. And pretty much I'd come back and I'd pretty much die, So what I did is I created this melon farm, and that way, as long as there's somebody in the area, as long as this chunk is loaded, it's going to be producing melons. And what I found is that on a multiplayer server in my faction, that a double one like this was more than enough, to feed. There was between 6 and 8 of us in the faction, and this was more than enough to actually feed every one of the faction members. So we didn't have to go for food or anything. We could just keep, harvesting melons. Now, on a single player world, you could probably get by with a single unit like this. Multiplayer, a double unit. If you got like a bunch of people in your faction, if you have, I guess 12 to 14 people in your faction, if you actually have 4 of these like this, that would be more than enough melons to keep you guys all going. And I'll show you in the background here. This is my chicken farm. This was what I was going to build instead of this. This is actually kind of neat too, because this actually works too. Basically, it automatically, plants, or automatically raises chickens and harvests them, cooks them. I'll show you where. This right here is where it actually hatches the eggs, and on the other side is where the cooked chicken actually ends up. This one's actually almost full, but it gives you a lot of feathers and a lot of cooked chicken. But anyway, getting back to the build here, I guess I'll show you how many melons that this produced, which is this one. This one produced 48 melons in the time that it took us to build that single unit over on this side. And then on this side, a single unit made, 38 melons, plus whatever melons got harvested, at this one. But pretty much, as long as the chunks are loaded, it's going to be harvesting melons. It's going to keep your guys, fed. A single melon farm like this is enough to keep one person going forever. A double probably keep 6 to 8 people going forever. Now, one thing about the 6 to 8 people is that that's just how many people I had in my faction. We were actually getting a surplus of melons, so maybe you could get by, feeding about 10 people, maybe more. But we had a surplus of melons, and if no one was online, no one was in the area, this pretty much stops. It doesn't produce any melons. It doesn't harvest any. As long as the chunks are loaded, say if a guy is, in the area that's not in your faction, and he's walking by, he'll load up, these chunks, and it'll pretty much start producing melons. So it actually would produce melons when you're not even online. As long as somebody was online and in the area, this would be producing melons. Anyway, again, this is VengeanceTech, and this is another of my Minecraft tutorials on my fully automated bud switch melon farm. And up to 45 on that side, 52 on that side. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe for more videos like this, please do. And I'd appreciate a like. And if you want to leave comments, I'm going to definitely look at them. If you actually have a better design, I'd like to know about that also. So if you have a better design, leave a link in the comments. I'll definitely look at it. And anyway, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.